What's up? It's PSG, Piss Sleeve Gang. We're out from Victoria, and but I had a little interesting time. I brought this kind of fun shenanigans 60 card deck. It's Burning Abyss PK, but it's like max variant combo, break my board kind of thing. But it's consistent enough that like you can end on like either 3 to 4 negates as long as you have like level 3. Like, congratulations, level 3. So I'll give you a deck profile. I'll then show you how to do the combo. I saw like a couple cards and junk, and I was like, oh, that would work with this. This would work with this. So just started making it. I found out that like some of the deck actually was already being used, but I was pretty happy because like I actually did build all of this deck myself. Just from like, hey, this combo would work here. You could do this. Oh, that's a funny, neat trick there. So I'll just get into it. Let's start off with the BAs. 2 Seer, 2 Graph, 1 Skarm, 1 Barbar, 1 Limbic. These honestly are pretty standard now. You don't play Farfa because it's just you don't play Beatrice and you actually don't play Dante. This is a new like just max combo, almost like a 3-axis dragon kind of variant, but with Christian Halifabrax. So it's a bit different. You don't end the same with Appaloosa or anything like that. You could make this deck end up like that. I remember I was testing with it. It's not consistent enough. And it loses to an infinite impermanence or a Cyframe. So it's not good in the meta. Appaloosa is $8 for a reason. So we have 3 Tour Guide, and if anyone is playing 3 Tour Guide, you should play 3 Kagamucha Knight at the same time, because the deck has become a thing where you rely on this resolving. Because if this resolves, you have full combo. You can go uninterrupted. It's just nutty. So no one should want to have that stop. So Kagamucha Knight, essentially, if this normal summon, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, Kagamucha Knight, amazing. Carrying on, you have your kind of extenders. I play Gilsource. It's good because if you want to if you only open Tour Guide and you want to test and bait if they have an Ash, and you don't really care if your Tour Guide resolves just because you have enough extenders in hand, you can essentially either like way you want to do this. You can normal summon it and then activate the effect, and then they Ash it, and you're like, cool, I still have combo. And there is Junk Forward, which I've tried playing. It just doesn't work. It's really bad because if you normal summon this and then you Junk Forward, yeah. Or what hurts more is you Junk Forward, then you normal summon this. They don't Ash this. You use Graph effect. They Ash Graph. And you're like, well, that makes it worse. That makes it a lot worse, actually. So just trying to bait this, because for some reason people are not ashing Graph, but they're ashing Tour Guide, which is really funny. Same thing here. It's a level 3, so if your Tour Guide gets stopped, you can just push through. And then Reclusia, I only play 1, and I honestly want to cut it just because the amount of times I'll have this in my hand and I'll go for it and I'll summon it, and at that point, once I see like I have invested most of my hand, they'll Nibiru at that point, and I would prefer not to have Cherubini on field at that point to then put this out, because they will Nibiru you as soon as they see you have 2 cards in hand, and they know you've committed your normal summon. They're not going to do it. They're just not. It's not going to be worth it. Going second, I've yet to actually be able to use its interesting thing with Cherubini, where it would protect it, and then you just get a free pop. That is almost not even worth it at this point, just because there's so little times I have a Link Zone to summon this to. So I'm really down on that one. Speed, Royd, Terratop, and Tekatomborg. I would say this sucks to open, but because you play Leviair and you actually play another Wind that you summon from extra deck, you don't actually, it doesn't hurt opening this. It does become an extender. And then same, like, it's just, this is a free way of making sure your combo goes uninterrupted if you open this. So I would play it at 1. I'd play it more if I could, but I can't. Sea Archiver and Edge Imp. So these are the things that are going to send off Cherubini, just because Sea Archiver, a free extender, if you already have Tour Guide and you have your full BA lineup ready to go, and you don't have to send Graph, and you're just like, what can I send a level 3 to extend? Sea Archiver. And then Edge Imp is really good because you can actually fix your hand. So let's say you open one of the 4 or 5 cards you just don't want to over open in this deck. You can actually send this to a grave, put it back in the deck, and then get a free summon, and it's a plus. That's the only time I'd use Edge Imp, or if you know you can't extend and you can't put something into a Link Zone, you'd send Edge Imp because your hand is just a brick. So yeah, those are what you can use to send. And then, as you heard before, it was Dangers. And then the PK lineup. Really small PK lineup. I don't know why you wouldn't play 3 Fogblade, just because you get to, if you open it, it doesn't hurt. And then Lone Fire Blossom. You can probably guess that I'm going to be showing you something here. There's an instant fusion, and the target is actually a tuner. This is your whole synchro engine, actually. So let me make this a little thinner. You have your Protoplant Cobra, your Psychic Weed Dealers. This one's funny. So Satellite Synchron. Let me make that a little clearer. And then there's like only a few more. There's Arborea and Rubik. I hate it, but actually opening him hasn't been the worst. It's not the worst, and it's how you can guarantee to get. If you don't open your tuners, you can graph this out, and then you can actually like go for your synchro plays if you have an extender. But that's if you have an extender. And then moving, what you actually summon out is your Red Rose to go into level 4 synchro tuner, and then you go, and then play 3 Ash in a 60 card deck. I know it's so funny when you open these things, but if they somehow get around your whole board, then hey, it's another negate. It's pretty instant win from there. It's funny to play 60 card with 1 card of Called by the Grave, and then Imperial Order because people at locals play Mystic Mine. And then the cards you never want to open in your life. Yeah. And then extra deck, your Sea Monster of Theseus, your Bamboozling Gossip Shadow, and your Leviair. These are both wins. And so if you do actually play, like go through both of these plays, you can Union Carrier this out. This essentially, you'll be able to do this for your 5th summon. And heck, if you do it for your 5th summon, then your combo does not get stopped. And then let's go through the obvious ones. This is your level 5 Synchro Tuner. And then you'll summon this. These are pretty standard. But an interesting thing is sometimes in this combo, you'll end with Crystron Halka Fibrax because you know you do not have a card in hand to be able to use Dragoon. So as soon as you they activate something, if you don't, it doesn't matter. They activate something, you can chain Halka Fibrax and then draw one card because you play Formula Synchron. And so you'd summon out the Formula Synchron and then draw one card. You're able to use Dragoon at that point. And then you use your Borreload Savage Dragon. They, somehow target to remove it or something like that. You then chain Formula Synchron and summon out your Stardust Warrior. So you can negate an inherent summon, and then this is really good against pendulums just because you negate multiple summons at one point for inherent. So if they go pendulum summon, you just tribute this and negate it, and it comes back. And then let's put out your BA lineup, Cherubini, and now carrying on your PK lineup, and then you have Dragoon, and then you have Union Carrier. And for the last one, just utility. Okay, so we've set this up. This isn't at random. It's going to be the follow through. You open Tour Guide and Satellite Synchron. Essentially, you have 3 other cards in hand. They don't really matter. And then Tour Guide and Satellite Synchron. It doesn't have to be Tour Guide. It doesn't have to be Satellite Synchron. But any of these variations, which is your one card starters, your BAs, your level 3 turbos, any of those things, and then the Satellite Synchron is any tuner. You play multitude of them. So you should not have a problem opening these 2 kinds of cards. And let's show you what they do. So, normal summon Tour Guide. Effect, summon out Graph. Then Link. Cherubini. Graph effect. Cherubini effect. And then link these off for Phantom Knight Rusty Bardiche. Cherubini activates, Seer activates, summoning out your Cherubini. We're going to summon him right there. Your Satellite Synchron triggers at this point, summoning him out. And then you link, for Linkross, you summon your token, and then you use these 2 to summon Crystron Halka Fibrax, and then you summon out Red Rose Dragon, and then you Synchro for Pulsar Dragon. Make sure you do not use Pulse Dragon effect at all, or else it'll lock you in your deck. Red Rose Dragon will summon out White Rose Dragon. You synchro these off for Borreload Savage Dragon. Summon that out. And then we might actually run out of time here, so we'll try and speed this up. And then you use Rusty Bardiche, that. And then you banish this, add your boots, and then summon out your boots. And at this point, you can either activate this, or funny enough, you still have your Edge Imp. So you summon Edge Imp, shuffling a card back. You overlay for Levier. You detach your boots, summon that back, and then you banish your boots, add, and then you activate, summon this out, you link these off for your Union Carrier, and then you link these off for your Verte Anaconda. You activate your Verte Anaconda, and then activate Union Carrier. I equip it to Rusty Bardiche, and you would have, at this point, your Dragoon out. So that's your combo. It's very simple. All it takes is 2 very easy to open cards, or just a variation of those cards will end on the exact same board. You can get more Fog Blades. You can get your you can end with your Crystron Helga Fibrax and then have a fuller combo. You can actually have Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. If you wanted to use these 2 extenders in your hand to make this for your 5th summon, you then go uninterrupted from Nibiru. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I'll show you one more test hand and we'll make this for 5th summon and show you that. This is scenario 2. You open something like Speedroid Terratop, or you just really have Kagamucha Knight or Gilsaurus with another extender, or like it just doesn't really matter. You have extenders. This is a level 3 turbo spam deck. You're gonna have extenders, and you might open one of your plenty of starters. So you start by Speedroid Terratop, summon out, well technically add a hand, summon Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. Then activate, pitch, summon, effect, add, link, Cherubini. At this point, you can, if you're wanting to, I think the best option is for you to send Graph, then Graph effect, summon out your Cherubini, your Seer and Cherubini into your Phantom Knight Birdish, and then Cherubini, summon back, and then Linkross, instant fusion, summon. Don't forget your token. You always want to keep this zone open, especially if you you've used Rusty Bardiche, and you always want to summon your Cherubini here. Moving on, or not your Cherubini here. Summon your Cherubini here because you want to use your Linkross there, and then you want to summon your Crystron Helga Fibrax there. And then Crystron Helga Fibrax, summon out your Red Rose, and that into Pulse, and then Red Rose effect. Never use Pulse Dragon effect. Don't know how many times I can say that. Summon effect. Cherubini is equipped, and then use Rusty Bardiche, sending your cloak, setting a Fog Blade. This is a little very little bit different than what you had before. Then you are going to banish your cloak to add your boots, special summon your boots. At this point, I would recommend you link these 2 off, because Crystron Helga Fibrax actually will have a better effect next turn than a monster negate. You can trust me on that one as much as you can. And then you're gonna make your Verte Anaconda effect. Actually, before that, you are going to banish your boots, add your second Fog Blade, then your Verte Anaconda, summon these 2 to summon that, and then you can set a Fog Blade and have another Fog Blade. Essentially, you have 2 negates with 2 Fog Blades, which are negates, essentially, and then you actually have a 5th piece of interruption, because after your opponent activates an effect, let's say for instance they activate Pot of Extravagance, you have to negate it. You can't let that go through, so you use Borreload Savage Dragon. So you chain it, goes through, you then chain Crystron Helga Fibrax to, on resolution, summon, and you draw 1 card. It doesn't really matter what you draw, just doesn't And then you, let's say, use a Dragoon, you, doesn't matter, carrying forward, you then, your opponent, let's say, targets your Borreload Savage Dragon, and you're like, well, I don't want to lose my Borreload Savage Dragon and be, like, you know, so you quick effect Formula Synchron. Then summon out Stardust Warrior, so it loses its target, its new target, doesn't get destroyed, and then you have an inherent summon negate that can bring itself back, so shoot, and then I believe it is in the end phase, so end phase, summons itself back. So you have a 3k beater on board that just, it's really hard to kill, along with another 3k beater, and then you have your Fog Blades. So at this point, it's just too good. And if you want to, for next, like, keep in mind, you have 3 extenders if you wanted to that you could have used anywhere in that whole thing to continue plays. So you could have easily, very easily, just Destruction Sword block them as well.